En este momento voy a invitar a Marcus de dar testimonio sobre el racismo en los lienzos de un africano-americano musulmán. Thank you, Marcus.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of God, the most gracious, most merciful. My name is Ishma'il Allgood. I am with Isla LA, which is a school, mosque, and a community center that services South Los Angeles. I was asked today to talk to you about racism and xenophobia. I think it is very interesting that these topics are being talked about here today. It is possibly in response to the outside climate out there amongst the hate mongers who have always been there waiting in the dark. But now they have come out of the shadows. Now they are coming out of the closet from under our beds. Now they are taking off their white hoods. They are the boogeyman, and they are trying to scare you. But because we have faith, we do not operate out of fear. We operate out of faith, hope, Amen. And love.
Amen.
Everybody say, I ain't never scared.
I'm never scared.
I ain't never scared.
I'm never scared.
Here are some facts. In April 2017, it was reported by the Washington Post that half of the ICE arrests of so-called illegal immigrants either had no criminal records or had minor violations like a traffic ticket. Say, that ain't right.
That ain't right.
In August 2017, the LA Times reported since Donald Trump got in office, hate crimes went up 12.6%. Say, that ain't right.
That ain't right.
What makes this interesting, we talk about racism and xenophobia, the fear of foreigners and immigrants in the abstract. We speak of them as though they are not related, but they come from the same hateful root. Did not our dear Jesus Christ say in Matthew chapter 7, 16 through 20, that we shall know a tree by its fruit? He was speaking about people. He was speaking about their actions. Your fruit, their fruit, my fruit. For example, this is my personal story. This time last year, I was pulled over in Los Angeles by an officer, Garcia. A brown brother pulled over a black brother. I wasn't fooled by his skin color because racism and xenophobia can even come in your own skin tone. And sometimes when they look like you, they're even worse because they feel they got something to prove to whomever is pulling their chain.
That's right.
Well, I was taking a left turn on Florence Avenue on a yellow light, and there were 3 cars behind me doing the same turn. I wasn't speeding, I wasn't breaking the law, but I was guilty of driving while black. So I was pulled over by the police officer, and he pulled out his gun and started screaming and yelling at me as if I robbed a bank or something. I had to calm him down and use some verbal judo to get out of this situation. The fact remains, he was racially profiling me. Like I said, we can tell a tree by its fruit. We know that no human being is illegal, right?
Right.
We know that without immigrants, there wouldn't be an America.
Right.
Some of us was forced here on slave ships.
Amen.
Some of us came here to flee persecution from their own countries.
That's true.
Some of us came here just to find a little life for ourselves, for our families.
That's right.
We came here to make America great. And because of immigrants, America is great. You making America not great again, but you make America better. That's right. I say the absence of our beloved immigrant brothers and sisters will be the absence of America's greatness.
Amen.
I don't know what Trump was talking about, going to make America great again, because our immigrant folks here made us great already.
Amen.
Therefore, we need to embrace our immigrant brothers and sisters, because xenophobia and racism come from the same evil, rotten, nasty root. And it needs to be uprooted. We are in this together. We get free together. In my holy book, the Quran, chapter 41, verse 34, there is a solution. It says we should repel evil with good. Say, everyone say, repel evil.
Repel evil
with good.
With good.
I'm sure a similar sentiment is in your holy books. We repel evil with something that is better. Whether it is tribalism, racism, xenophobia, anti-Muslim sentiments we're talking about here, we spend way too much time and energy finding ways to divide ourselves from each other. To uproot this evil tree of division, this rotten fruit, we must unite. Say unite.
Unite.
To counter hate, we must love. Say love.
Love.
To contradict fear, we must have courage to reach out and get to know someone that is different than you. Say courage.
Courage.
We repel evil with good. Say we repel.
We repel
evil.
Evil.
With good.
With good.
Say right on, brother.
Right on, brother.
My time is up. I love you. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. Woo! Sí se puede. Sí se puede. Sí se puede. Sí se puede. Sí se puede.
Esto no necesita traducción. En este momento quiero invitar Rachel Taco y hablar de racismo por los ojos de una coreana americana. Thank you so much.
Hola a todos.
Hola.
Me llamo Raquel y no tuve mucho tiempo para traducir, so después de un poco Annie necesita ayudarme. In this time of division and fear, we must stand together, unified and strong, because now is the time for good people to uphold what is right and to reject what is unjust and intolerant. En este tiempo de división y miedo, debemos que juntarnos, unidos y fuertes, porque ahora es el tiempo para mantener la bondad y rechazar lo injusto y intolerante. My grandparents are immigrants and refugees from North Korea and escaped to South Korea during the Korean War. Mis abuelos son inmigrantes y refugiados de Norte Corea al sur durante la Guerra Coreana. My grandfather, who had to leave his entire family behind at 18, is now 85. Mi abuelo dejó a su familia cuando tenía 18 años y ahora tiene 85 años. If anyone knows the excruciating pain of separation, of losing hope that you will ever see your family again, it's him. It is an especially difficult time for him now as tensions build with North Korea, and the threat of violence from this country's administration would devastate thousands of innocent lives. Si alguien conoce el dolor de separación, que nunca puede ver su familia, es mi abuelo. Es un tiempo especialmente difícil para él, como las tensiones crecen con Norte Corea y la amenaza de violencia de esta administración puede destruir las vidas de millones inocentes. My parents are immigrants to the United States and grew up with shouts of "go back to your country" by people living across the street who are supposed to be neighbors, people who didn't understand that this is my parents' country too. My parents know what it means to be judged first by what you look like. They know how it feels to be the other. Mis padres son inmigrantes a los Estados Unidos y cuando eran niños escucharon gritos a regresar a su país de sus vecinos, aunque este país es suyo también. Mis padres saben cómo lo siente a ser juzgado primero por lo que pareces. Saben cómo lo siente a ser el otro. But my family faced affliction with faith and in prayer as we do tonight. God calls us to not only denounce injustice in our own lives, but to also stand against injustice done to a brother or sister, because an act of injustice against one is an act of injustice against us all.
Pero mi familia, cuando tuvo eso miedo y centro con fe y con oración, como nosotros hacemos esa noche, Dios nos llama a quitar la injusticia en nuestras vidas, pero también para quitar injusticia a los otros, a nuestros hermanos, porque injusticia a uno es injusticia a todos nosotros.
We cannot stay silent as white supremacists rampage and terrorize. We cannot stand on the sidelines as racism and deportation threaten our communities. Today, despite my own fears and frustrations, I refuse to lose hope in the faithfulness and power of God to deliver and to save. Just like my grandfather, after over 50 years, still refuses to lose hope of being reunited with his family one day.
No podemos tener silencio cuando white supremacists están en la calle y están terrorizando nuestras comunidades. No podemos estar silencio con racismo y deportaciones están dando tanto miedo a nuestras comunidades. Hoy, aunque yo tengo mis propios miedos y frustraciones, yo refuso de quitar mi fe, de quitar mi esperanza en el poder de Dios, lo que va a salvar todas nuestras comunidades. Y eso es lo mismo lo que de mi abuelo, después de disculpa, de más de 50 años, él refusa de quitar su esperanza de ser reunido con su familia.
So in our fight for change, I want to encourage us first to not fall into the trap of indifference. As people of faith, we each have a moral responsibility to be bold when we see intolerance and hatred in our cities.
So, mientras nosotros estamos luchando para cambios, quiero encorajar a todos que no podemos hacer nada. Somos personas de fe y todos nosotros tenemos una responsabilidad de tener coraje cuando nosotros vemos intolerancia y odio en nuestras comunidades y nuestras ciudades.
I believe that in addition to the destructiveness of racism and xenophobia, the silence and inaction of good people similarly immobilizes the progress of humanity. I say this to everyone here and especially to my own Korean community. For so many years, I believe that silence kept the peace, that as a Korean American, I had no say in issues such as racism in this country.
Yo digo eso a ustedes, pero también a mi propia comunidad de los coreano-americanos. Para tantos años, yo tuve la impresión de silencio fue paz. Como un coreano-americano, que yo no tuve el derecho de abrir mi boca y tener una opinión en cosas como racismo en este país.
But nothing could be further from the truth. Change is not inevitable. Tolerance is not a given. And we must each do our part, all of us together. And let us not fall into the trap of otherness. Despite the diversity of our race, age, and religion, we hold a shared vision and hope for the future. Let us not forget that.
Pero la verdad es que cambio no es inevitable. Paz y inclusión de los otros no es algo que ellos van a dar a nosotros. Necesitamos trabajar para eso Necesitamos trabajar para una comunidad de diversidad e inclusión. Y no podemos pensar del otro. Aunque nosotros tenemos diversidad de raza, de religión, todos nosotros tenemos una sola visión y una sola esperanza para el futuro.
Although our stories and experiences may be different, our shared humanity overcomes any illusion of difference that